What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the We'll See You Later podcast, episode 70, where we talk all things sports and entertainment from a fan's point of view. I am Jeremy, your host, and this is
Willie Ray.
And this episode is brought to you by
Happy's Energy and Nutrition, the best energy and nutrition on the entire planet. Ooh, that's like fresh milk right out of the teat. Chad Powers. You haven't seen it? Watch it.
Great show. Great show. We've got some Razorback news. We had a game this week, lost to now number 3 Texas A&M by another one possession.
Yeah, it's not news. It's becoming a habit.
Sure.
You are what you repeatedly do, and Arkansas is a team that loses one possession games.
Yep. And we also have a little bit of some coaching firings and plenty more to come, probably.
Right.
So without further ado, let's hop right into it, Will. Game this past weekend, Arkansas plays a top 5 team again in Texas A&M, and looked great, right?
Offensively.
Good enough to win it.
You have 500 yards of total offense, no turnovers, can't be stopped. But here's the thing, and I'm looking at you, Travis Williams, Deke Adams, Marcus Woodson, Sam Pittman. I'm looking at anyone who had anything to do with the recruitment, the development, and the forming of this defense. You should all be sued and forced to relinquish any payment that you took in the last 12 months from the University of Arkansas, because clearly you did nothing to get this defense ready. It is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, they're bad.
It's offensive to football fans that we call this a defense.
Yeah, that's bad.
A&M had 9 total possessions. They scored 7 touchdowns and a field goal, and very little resistance in the way of, we're going to stop you from scoring. A&M legitimately could have ran them. I'm not just saying this is hyperbole. I think they could have ran the ball every down. Oh. And that's with Arkansas stacking the line to stop it. You just can't do it. It doesn't matter how good Arkansas is offensively, because this is the worst defense in Power 4. I'll put it up against anybody. Nobody has a worse defense than we do.
Yeah, I agree. Hogs lose by 3. Scored really, really late to make it look a little bit more respectable. Try to get an onside kick. Didn't happen. I don't know how to. It honestly just kind of feels like this is just who we are.
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day. You just don't have the horse.
Yeah.
It's a personnel issue on that side of the ball.
I do think that they're going to sneak up and get somebody. As close as we are, sooner rather than later, you have to win one of these games, because the other team, not that you stop them, they just don't execute the play.
Yeah, they refuse to win as well.
Yes.
And it's just who wants to lose this game as opposed to who wants to win it.
Yep, and we haven't had that situation yet. But I'm reading and hearing, Will, from some people, I do not agree with this, that if we give Bobby 2 to 3 years here as a coach, let him go get some of his guys, that he can fix it. What do you say to that?
I think as far as Bobby Petrino getting the full-time job, he has to win enough games to justify giving him the job. It's not about competing. It's not.
Yeah, he's 0-2.
Yeah, if he goes 0-7, but he competes in every game, he's not getting the job.
Right.
I would argue if he goes 2-5, he's not getting the job. He has to get Arkansas bowl eligible to even be considered. If he got the full-time job, it would have to come with caveats for me. The caveat being, you take this job. Now, it's offensive to everyday working people for me to say $1 million or $1.5 million is next to nothing, but relative to what they do as a profession in the Southeastern Conference, that's peanuts. I would think Petrino, if you want this job and it's your last job, your last chance at a job in the Southeastern Conference, you take this job for $1 million, 1.5 a year for 2 or 3 years, and you take that $8.5-9 million that they were reportedly willing to pay for a head coaching candidate. You throw that in NIL, you go actually hire a big name defensive coordinator, and this is big for Bobby. Let that defensive coordinator do his job. If you hire Bobby Petrino, you understand that the first thing he's going to do is go hire the head coach at Missouri State, Ryan Baird, who is his son-in-law,
Yep.
to run his defense so he can have somebody on defense that he can bully. The fact of the matter is nobody of note wanted to work for Bobby Petrino back in the day. They damn sure don't now. My biggest concern with Bobby Petrino is if you give him the full-time job, what kind of staff is he really going to put together? Because you look back and when he was here before, he had his college buddies running the offensive line. His brother's the offensive coordinator. At one point, his son was a quarterback coach. You can't do that now.
Exactly.
You can't do that. And your son-in-law over at Missouri State might be a great coach, but I'm not willing to trust a guy that's taking that big a step up to fix this defense.
Yeah.
This defense is a critically ill patient. I need the best doctor money can buy. That's just where we are. It's a personnel thing.
Big time.
It's who we are. You can call any kind of defense you want. They do not have the talent, the football IQ, any of it to get this done. This defense is slow. They're soft. But to make up for it, they're also really stupid. It's as bad as you can be defensively.
100%. Coaching, since there's not really a lot off this game that we can go off of. Offensively, we're looking great. Putting up over 500 yards almost every game.
People say Bobby still has it. Okay, yeah, he's been calling plays all year. The offense has scored points and racked up yards all year. But the bottom line is he's not going to get the job if he doesn't win games.
Right.
And he doesn't have the defense to win games.
I don't know what you take away from this game other than the same thing that we've been taking away, that we are a good offensive team, a horrible defensive team, and we find ways to lose the game. That's just what it is. It's what it has been. It's what it is right now until we can flip it all around. And the only way to do that, top down, like we've harped on it. So we're going to push forward. But speaking of coaching, had a lot going on. So we talked about Penn State situation and how they let Franklin go, which was wild to us. Immediately following that, Indiana ups Signetti to 11 a year for the next
11.6. Coach Sig got paid
for the next 8 years, something like that.
Yeah, it was an 8-year extension. He's going to retire in Bloomington.
So Indiana putting their stamp that Penn State's not taking their guy, and then tops it off now. Florida, even after beating Mississippi State, fires Billy Napier, who went 22-23.
Never really got things rolling.
Never did. And they said that what his ultimate downfall was he called the plays.
Yep.
And would not give those reins up.
Wouldn't give it up.
And so now the Florida job is open, and your boys here at the We'll See You Later podcast have predictions. Everybody's got them. Ours are out there. I actually sent a text message out to show that we have receipts of where we're thinking. We believe Matt Rule goes to Penn State.
Yeah, I don't think he's able to turn that down.
I don't either.
Folks, his best friend is the athletic director. It'd be equivalent to me having a job come open and Jeremy's available. That's my first call, and it's my only call. You're not going to say no to me. Maybe you would, but given this situation, it's a perfect fit at the perfect place. Like, I don't care what Matt Rule says about Nebraska. He will ultimately take this job.
The way that we look at it, too, is if he didn't want the job, he wouldn't even talk about it. The fact that he had to go up there and say something about how Nebraska is a place where it's a premier destination, which I believe him.
Right.
It's all the things that he wants to be at. I get it. It's not Penn State. We all know it's not Penn State. He wants it to be a Penn State, which is great. What coach has ever went up there and was said, yes, I'm looking at taking another job mid-season?
Coaches never lie, do they, Jeremy? Ever? No, they never. They always tell the truth. Come on, man.
Always.
They always tell the truth. Get out of here. Matt Rule will ultimately, if Penn State wants him, he will be the next head coach at Penn State.
Now, we also have heard rumors that they're interested in one Urban Meyer.
Okay.
That's also been thrown out there.
Okay. I mean, if that happens, huge. But, you know, Urban is going to come up with an excuse where you're going to have to fire him. It's always something. Urban Meyer's a dirtbag human being. I'll say that out loud, and you can don't edit it out. It is what it is. I can't stand Urban Meyer. Great coach, horrible human. Penn State with the past that they have, don't add Urban Meyer to this.
Yeah.
Given the fact that you just spent however many years rebuilding your image after that, and you're right back to where you should be, where it's all about football, don't add Urban Meyer to this. It's Matt Rule.
And with that opening, Florida firing their coach, we believe, as if most of these people believe, that Lane Kiffin is the one and only candidate for Florida right now.
They will go all in and try to get him to. He's going to have to say no.
He's going to have to either use Florida as leverage for Ole Miss,
Yeah,
or he's going to Florida.
Yeah, I think either way, whether it be at Florida or at Ole Miss, we're looking at Cignetti type money for Lane's about to get re-upped big time.
Oh, yeah.
I've had people tell me that the contract negotiations at Ole Miss have been in the works for a week now, where they're trying to work things out to where news comes out like it did with Cignetti, whereas you've all of a sudden re-up for a huge pay raise.
Yeah.
Now, as far as Arkansas is concerned, as much as I hate having Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, it might be a better deal for him to stay put, because I don't think that Arkansas will be competing in the same pool of coaches as Florida. But if Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss, the Lane Kiffin factor that has Ole Miss where they are right now is gone. So I don't want the Ole Miss job coming open when Arkansas is looking for a coach.
It's the same kind of.
Yeah, they'd be looking at Sumrall, Mullen. They'd be looking at guys like that.
Yeah.
That's why we're interested in what happens at Auburn going forward with Hugh Freeze.
Yep.
What happens at LSU with Brian Kelly. Now, that's a $60 million buyout, but they're beyond frustrated.
Right.
And if they lose to Texas A&M at home this weekend, buddy, it's about to get loud. He's always been a bad fit there.
Yes.
Always been a bad fit
ever since he
there.
faked the country
from
accent.
the very beginning. That should have told you everything you were getting. He's a fraud. He's always been a fraud and a horrible human being on top of it. He's a horrible human. But I need him to stay at LSU for one more year. We don't need the LSU job to come open.
Yeah.
We need as few SEC jobs to come open as possible. I think you're going to have an opening at Kentucky at some point.
Auburn.
I think you'll probably have an opening at Auburn. We need kind of just the devil that we know. I would like to see Lane Kiffin stay in Oxford. You know, it is what it is at this point. But when you're looking for a coach, you want as little movement as possible. Now, there's going to be a lot of movement. There's nothing you can do about it. But I worry more about competing with the Ole Miss job than I do the Florida job.
Right. Kiffin will go to Florida. Florida will offer him the moon. I think that we still go after Summerall. I think that we go after a Mullen, or my hope and dream for always is going to be John Gruden. I think that the scary part, especially if it's LSU, that ends up somehow parting ways. I think if LSU parts ways, that means they're going after a Franklin.
Yeah.
Like Franklin on College Game Day. What an interview.
Well, yeah.
Like what?
Okay.
That's a job interview.
When you go on TV and we didn't know what to expect.
5 days after being fired.
At your dream school. He's a Pennsylvania kid. We didn't know if we were going to get the somber James Franklin, the guy who maybe wanted to take a couple years off. He just got a $50 million payday to go away. We got James Franklin looking right in the camera and saying the plan was to win a national championship. That didn't get done, but the plan hasn't changed. We're just going to go win one somewhere else. James Franklin, take all my money.
I would never turn that down.
James Franklin, take all my money, because now we're dealing with a James Franklin that we haven't ever dealt with.
Chip
and that's
on his
James
shoulder.
Franklin who is pissed off that he got fired.
Yes.
It's James Franklin against the world. Whoever gets this guy is getting the best version of him. James Franklin, Fayetteville's a great place to live, buddy.
Absolutely.
Take all my money. And if you're one of these people that says you don't want James Franklin in Fayetteville, you fall in a pretty big category. It's called an idiot. You're an idiot if you don't want this guy.
Yeah, the look at his record at top 25. The man won 8 or 9 games every single year.
James Franklin is the coach that if you're the guy, if you're a true Arkansas fan that sits here and listens to us on this podcast, and you understand that what you want to do is win 8, 9 games a year and the floor be 7, 8 and jump up and get somebody having an 11-win season every now and then, this is the coach you've been waiting on, because he literally does just that.
Every time.
He's not going to lose games to people that he should beat. When he loses games, it's the people it's the big time matchups. It's losing in double overtime against Oregon. It's,
Ohio State.
What got him was they finally caught him in a situation where he lost a game he shouldn't. He shouldn't have lost to UCLA. So that happens one time, and we find it's ridiculous. The expectations at Penn State are ridiculous, and they will look back. I truly believe they'll pay for this.
It's like a Dan Mullen in Florida situation.
It's the expectations are astronomical. They're unbelievable. We should win a national championship every year. This dude, less than a calendar year ago, was one play away from competing for a national championship.
Yes.
One play. This guy 3 weeks ago, marquee matchup, Penn State, Oregon. He goes to double overtime and
Has the lead.
He has the lead and goes to double overtime, loses that game by one possession. I'm in the Nick Saban camp here. Unfair.
Very.
Unfair. Bullshit. Let's just call it bullshit that this guy's looking for a job. But we got to be behind the scenes throwing everything at this guy.
Have to.
If he comes to Fayetteville, you get what you've always wanted. We're going to be competitive every week. We're going to be those dogs that jump up and get 2 or 3 teams a year. It's not just one game a year with a guy like that. You're going to jump up and win 2 or 3 games. Right. Look at his track record and go back previous to Penn State. Why did he get the Penn State job in the first place? You people who have recency bias and like we live in the portal era and you're looking at Vanderbilt now and they are who they have become, where they're kind of they're everybody's darling the past couple of years. When Franklin had the Vanderbilt job, it was the worst job in America.
Yeah.
They were bad every year. They played in the SEC, lost their ass year in and year out, couldn't recruit kids because of the academic stuff. James Franklin comes in there the first year, wins 6 games. They go to a bowl game, and then in back-to-back years goes 9-4. Absolutely unheard of. If he had stayed at Vanderbilt, they'd be building him a statue right now. There wouldn't be a Clark League. They'd be building him a statue. He got the job at Penn State because he did the unthinkable at Vanderbilt. So you want SEC experience? He's got that too.
Right.
If Zach Stacy hadn't fumbled the football in 2011 and Jerry Franklin picks it up for Arkansas, returns it for a touchdown, that team at Arkansas won 11 games and won the Cotton Bowl. We lose to Vanderbilt that day. He went head-to-head with Bobby Petrino and had his team ready to go in Nashville. I was at that game. If we had hired James Franklin after the Bobby Petrino stuff had happened, it would have ended up being a great hire. Now you've got a chance to do it again. Now he's going to have his choice of suitors.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have his choice of suitors because everybody feels the same way that I do. But Arkansas, you got a head start on this, man. I would hope that somebody's back channeling to James Franklin.
Please and thank you.
Yeah. You brought up John Gruden. I think
that's my guy.
I think that if he was going to make sense somewhere, he makes sense at Florida because he lives in Tampa.
Yeah. And
is a Florida guy. If Florida wants to go that route and make the splashy hire,
I don't think they do.
No, I don't either. I think
splashy hire's got to be an us thing only.
Yeah, it's a Lane Kiffin deal for them, and I don't know where they go if Lane Kiffin turns them down again. I've seen on their boards that Marcus Freeman, that seems like a pipe dream. He's got the Notre Dame job. He's already got a great job. Why would he be worried about going somewhere else? Who knows? But I don't know where they go. I think Lane is the clear favorite. I think Ole Miss knows and has known that when it started trending that way with Billy Napier, they're going to come after our coach. I think they're taking steps to do what Indiana did. Indiana saw what happened with James Franklin and immediately went, they're going to come after our coach. Re-upped him and put that to bed. I think that's where we're headed with Ole Miss. We want as few openings as possible, but some of them seem inevitable.
Right. Speaking of one that we think is going to happen, Auburn.
Well, what a bad loss. There was another game that they should have won at home against Missouri, and they let that get away. And Hugh Freeze now 0-4 in conference play and seemingly has run out of answers.
Do they get that first win this weekend at Fayetteville, Willie?
If you have a struggling offense, do I have exactly what the doctor ordered? That's 4 quarters against this Arkansas defense. We'll fix you right up.
Willie Ray thinking Auburn gets that first victory this weekend.
I mean, I've seen this movie before. Auburn in a 1-score game.
I'm going to pick the latter, and I think that we've got to win eventually. You got a struggling offense. We don't. So maybe we can outscore you,
See, that's
make you make a mistake.
They're kind of inverted. They're kind of inverted images of each other. These teams, where Arkansas has a great offense and a dog water defense, people get caught up in how inconsistent this Auburn offense has been, and it is. It's tough to watch, but Auburn has a nasty defense. They play defense and it keeps them in games. It's kind of going to be strength on strength and weakness on weakness.
Yeah.
So which unit is worse this week in Fayetteville? Auburn's offense or Arkansas defense? I am not ever betting on this defense. Ever. I'll root against my pick. I would love to be wrong, but I'm just not doing it. I've never seen a worse one. And I can't, if you don't have a defense, your team is a fraud.
Right.
No matter how good you are on offense. Arkansas doesn't even have a passable defense. This is awful.
I'm going to bank on Auburn's offense just making a mistake. And we are just so happen to capitalize, not on us doing anything of our own doing, something that they're going to do. That
mistake will have to involve a mistake where no defender is anywhere near. Like, you're just going to have to miss a wide open receiver.
Something.
Or you're going to, like, something.
They're going to put the ball on the ground.
You're going to fumble a snap. Like, something's got to, it's going to have to be something like that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to pick Arkansas.
This is the U-Haul Bowl. If Auburn loses to Arkansas, Hugh Freeze is fired the next day.
Yeah, he's not going to make it home.
But if Arkansas loses to Auburn, we can put all this Bobby Petrino stuff to bed.
We thought that last week, though. You don't think that happened? Just the way we lose, does that matter to their eyes?
It doesn't matter to mine.
Right.
But if you see, here's the thing that's been his saving grace the past couple of weeks is he's lost close games to two really good teams.
Right. This is not
one of those. Okay.
You can't lose this one.
You lose a close game here to a team that's 0-4 in the conference, we can put that thing to bed.
Okay.
I think if he didn't have a past here at Arkansas, would we even be talking about it?
I don't know.
We came into the season as a team that lost close games and couldn't close a deal. We're now 6 weeks in and we're the exact same team.
Yeah.
We're a team that plays close games and can't close a deal. Even when we don't turn the ball over, we got a quarterback that finds a way to get sacked 30 yards downfield. Look, Bobby P's not without blame in this loss either. His clock management on several things was bad.
Yeah. We kept all 3 timeouts with 20 seconds left.
Yeah. His clock management was it was wrong. And when it became apparent that you were going to have to kick an onside kick to try to stay in this game, that's when you got to use your timeouts. The 10-second runoff, what are you saving it for? You're fixing to get the ball back with 5 seconds anyway. What do you need a timeout for?
Yeah.
It was just bad. He avoided disaster at the end of the first half with the Taylor Green touchdown pass with 2 seconds left. That should have never taken place with 2 seconds left. Now, if we knew it was going to happen, you take it. But almost cost yourself a play and a chance to get a touchdown there. There were several times where I said out loud, what are we doing here, Bob? Give me a timeout.
Do something.
Yeah.
So this weekend, Willie's got Auburn. I'm going to pick Arkansas here. I'm banking on Auburn's offense to make the mistake and give us something. That's all we can say about it. We're about to hop over to the Week 9 Pick'ems, where we pick our 5 games. This is just the Arkansas side of it all. This is episode 70 of the We'll See You Later podcast, where we talk all things sports and entertainment from our point of view, a Hog fan point of view. I'm your host, Jeremy. This is
merely Jeremy's co-host, Willie Ray. Hi, Mom.
And until next time, guys.
We'll see you later.